country where they need wolves. And she has an amazing, amazing spirit. Ann talked to me about it so many times, and I say, well, you've got to bring me over there when I come home from Florida. And I'd call Ann and say, when are we going to Wolves Hollow? She'd say, you got 2 legs. I just felt like I needed her to introduce me to Joni. You know, I would go on my own later. Just, you know, Ann wanted me to go on my own, I guess. And I just never got. But this is Joni.
Thank you very much, Ella Beaver. Ann was very special to me. We have been very good friends for a very, very long time. I, like Ann, kind of don't shut up when I should. Say what I feel when I feel it. And I met her through local politics early on, and then through the Native American culture that we both loved and participated in as much as we possibly could. One of my fondest memories of when my birthday is every few years lands on Thanksgiving. And sometimes it's the 24th and sometimes on Thanksgiving. So I decided that I had something on my bucket list that I decided that a few years back that this is what I was going to do. So I told my family, you're all on your own for Thanksgiving because I'm going to march with the Indians. And Ann was my sidekick. She was my co-pilot. We went, we had an amazing day, very spiritual. And I miss her terribly. It was such a shock to her passing. I know how much she loved the wolves. I know how much she loved what we do and how supportive she was of what we do. So I would like to take just a second to offer Ann and Masconomet some wolf shed and offer you all a sound that she could hear from her house, and she would Facebook me every single day to say, I heard them last night. Someone's off key. With that, I would like to say thank you for having me. Thank you for this beautiful service, family and friends. And I would like to invite you all when this is over. If you'd like to stop by at Wolf Hollow, we will be closed to the public by then, so there won't be 150 people or 200 people or however many. So if you'd like to come and just sit out back and enjoy the soothing, wonderful atmosphere the wolves provide, you are more than welcome to stop by after you leave here today.
Thank you. Okay, we got anybody over on that side because we have Carol and me. So if anybody over here, gonna.
Don't touch videos.
So I don't have anything.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you, Jen. Yes, come. Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
I can't talk about it.
Well, you asked me to.
I did. No, don't think of it.
Okay. Well, I hate to go from the sublime to the ridiculous,
Okay.
but I think we need to capture Anne in her entirety. So, with that.
Oh,
if you
Jen,
leave
that's a.
anything out, I scribbled this down just before I got here. So, let's see. I said I met Anne a few years back when I decided to pursue dog training as a career. Our mutual friend Karen sent me over to shadow Anne in some of her dog training classes. We immediately hit it off. After the first class, we went over to the diner around the corner for coffee and a quick chat. We were going to talk about dog training. Well, 2.5 hours later, we were still there gabbing away. Anne was yelling and cursing. And I was laughing and shrinking down in my seat like, oh gosh, is everybody listening to this? We got a couple of, glances, side glances. So we're gabbing away talking about dogs and education, and that became our routine. I would assist in her classes, then we'd go to the diner. Eventually our talks grew to be about life, love, and everything under the sun. We found we had so much in common between dogs, psychology, Native American culture, because I had begun my teaching career on the Navajo Hopi Reservation in Arizona. She would say, of course you did. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, what do you mean? And then she found out my birthday was April 13th. I think Mike's was April 12th.
Aries.
She was like, well, of course it is. And I'm like, okay. And there was antiques, there was road travel. You know, she had been a trucker. I traveled back and forth across the country a couple of times on my own in my car with a couple of dogs in the back. I used to sleep in fields and things like that, so she was amazed by that. And we trade trucker stories, not that I was a trucker. She was a bottomless font of knowledge regarding dogs, and she always had a well-reasoned and sage bit of advice for anything else that came up too. Now, lest you all are imagining a sweet, wise little old lady gently imparting pearls of wisdom, let me just set the record straight and wipe that image right out of your mind. Anne could be feisty and fierce. She was always on a rant or a tear about who needed to be set straight, how we were going to resist the local shock collar trainers, and it was always we. It was like, I'm sending you to do this. And I said, Anne, I have to go home and make dinner. And she's like, no, you're going to make up flyers and go here and protest season lawn or something. Okay, and I was like, okay, Annie, and anything for you. And so that became our thing. She would say that to me if I said, oh, you know, I really need you to, you know, take something on or, you know, drive me somewhere, anything for you. And I'd end up always being talked into all her things, and I'd say, okay, anything for you. She might say, get your ass up to Newburyport. I have a friend who wants some training with her dog or something. I'd say, Anna, I don't have time to go to Newburyport. I'm trying to stay on Cape Ann. Oh, she'd say, what is our motto? I'd say, okay, anything for you, and off I'd go.
What is
She had to be talked into that one. So we were going to resist the local shock collar trainers, or what group needed help, or God forbid, somebody said something scientifically inaccurate on Facebook. And she'd be like, let me draw your attention to this thread. I need some backup. And we'd go in and we'd be like explaining the science and everything. So, but oh, she could make me laugh, cry, cringe, applaud the things she would say. Once, very early on in one of her classes, it was the end of November. We had had a week off for Thanksgiving. She said, and I had just met her really in like the end of October, I think. She said, okay, raise your hand if you had a nice Thanksgiving. So me and all the other dopes put our hands up. So, you know, like everyone else, I raised my hand not knowing her well at that point and not knowing what was coming. Then she said, well, you can all put your hands down now, because in the Native community, of which I am a part, that was a national day of mourning. And she went on to explain, and, you know, this and that, all about it. So I was a little mortified to be sitting there with all the other dopes with our hands in the air. And later at the diner, I said, our conversation began as so many would, and I can't believe you said that. I go, you just can't say things like that to people in your classes. She said, F you. Yes, I can. I can say whatever I want and whatever I believe in. And you know, that's one thing that she really did taught me. You know what? You can say that. You can say whatever you want and what you really believe in. So to stand up always for what you believe in, and to always say what you mean and truly feel. So where others could perceive her as maybe, you know, odd, this blonde, blue-eyed person saying she was part of the Native American community, I know she truly was. I perceived as, I saw complete authenticity and always the underpinning of kindness and compassion. Because Anne was really, truly one in a million or a billion, because she was one of the most authentic people I have ever met in my life. If she felt something or thought something or believed in something, she would let you know it. And she didn't care, she really did not care what other people thought of her. She was going to stand up for what she believed in. So there was always the underpinning of kindness and compassion. Whether she was advocating for seniors or Native affairs or animals, she was always acting with good intention. I often think her true passion, in simplest form, was simply compassion. She had a passion for compassion. For all her bossy, opinionated, stubborn, exceedingly profane, assertive ways, she was always kind. And she was fun and funny too. With her myriad of interests, you know, besides her well-known love of dogs, there was trucking, writing. Everybody knows she wrote a well-respected column for the newspaper. public speaking, native affairs. She had a blog on her website that was very well respected in the dog training community. She was an antique collector specializing in crystal. Once we went around shopping and visiting the local shops after our morning at the diner, and all the antique shops, and all the dealers knew her by name. And like every month practically that I would know her, something new would pop up. I'd be like, oh really? She was like, oh, I'm a trucker, I'm a rider, I did this, I did that, all the places she had been and everything. So, there was antiques, there was all that. She also loved music. Once we sat in my car eating our ice cream from downriver, one of her true loves, and I put on the trucking, so I put it on my phone, and I was like, oh, I'm going to play this for Ann, she's going to love this. So I don't know that much about trucking, but she loved it, and she was always talking about it. So I played her Eastbound and Down. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but she had a great love of hokey 70s music, particularly related to trucking. And we sang Eastbound and Down, loaded up in trucking. Well, her ice cream was... So this is the extent of my knowledge of that song. Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. We're gonna do what they say can't be done. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. We're eastbound, just watch her bandit run. And then I stopped, and she was like, la 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 la. Every word to that song. So next I put on Convoy. Every word to the song. The ice cream was going down her wrist and going down her arm, and it was going everywhere in my car, and there's dog hair on us and everything. But anyway,